SteamWorld Dig 2 is another installment in the SteamWorld series created by Image Inform Games and a direct sequel to SteamWorld Dig. It's a mix of a few concepts. A resource mining platformer at the core, has the world design of a Metroidvania, and it has elements of puzzle platformer games. If you enjoyed SteamWorld Dig 1, then this is a title for you. It's bigger and better in every way, and it expands upon the mechanics of the first one. You play as Dorothy, an NPC from the previous title, as she's on her quest to find Rusty, the previous protagonist, who after the events of the first game, disappeared. What's instantly noticeable is the scale of the game world. No longer are you bound to a small flat city, but there's a whole surface world that's just waiting to be explored with its own resources and various secrets. The game still features a hub city where you'll be doing all the talking, selling and upgrading, but I like the fact that some parts of it are unreachable at the beginning, and the city opens up as you progress through the game. The upgrade system has gone over some changes compared to the previous game. Previously you would use coins and upgrade orbs to buy them, and most of them were just linear, passive upgrades, increasing capacities, speeds, powers and such. In this game, those upgrades only require money, but each upgrade unlocks a cog mod, which you can freely enable and disable as long as you have enough cogs, meaning that the game gives you tools for customizing your playthrough to your playstyle. Sure, you can enable things to help you out, but you can also enable things that make the game harder and more challenging if that's your thing. And finding cogs might be the best thing about the game because they're never out in the open. You'll search for cracked walls, hidden passages, sometimes they'll be out of your reach until you get a specific upgrade, but most of the time they'll be hidden in challenge caverns. Handcrafted rooms that could be platforming challenges or puzzle rooms requiring a specific set of skills, but for the most part they can be found off the beaten path, so you'll have to look for them, but completing them feels super rewarding. It's the exploration aspect that has sold me on this game. I've never really grinded for gems and ores to sell so I can buy upgrades in this game, but instead mined them occasionally on my way to unexplored areas, so there wasn't really much of a downtime between any progress in the form of cogs or pushing the story forward. And the story aspect of the game has in fact been expanded upon. There's tons more dialogue and cutscenes in the game, and as you're introduced to Fen, sort of a sprite sidekick that follows Dorothy around, but the cities have more NPC to talk to also, and you can find various characters underground, so they're not limited to only existing in the city hub. And there's more to a story than just dig to China, as the characters have their own motivations and goals. SteamWorld Dig features various environments like temples, shiny territory, mystical glowing caves, and the Vectron realm to show a few. Oh, by the way, Vectron? Effing terrifying. Congratulations, Image Inform Games, I nearly shat my pants. Graphically speaking, it still uses a similar art style to the previous title, although it feels a lot more detailed and polished. The animations of characters are smoother, and the backdrops have tons of small details in them and use a pseudo 3D parallax effect, which gives it a pretty gorgeous effect. And that is a big draw for me. It's pure eye candy, and every location gives off a different vibe, plays with the player's emotions and never feels like, oh, it's just another tile. So no. Every place feels like a custom designed environment with its own story to tell and own style. While the previous game had some randomized elements, procedural generation I believe, this one feels purely handcrafted. Even like the generic mine in the center of the game feels like it was made hand by hand, brick by brick, which is amazing. All of this is supplemented by a great soundtrack. One of the first tunes that plays during the tutorial feels like a mix of a western-like theme with the mixture of Diablo's 2 soundtrack. Especially the guitar used, it's amazing. I loved the original SteamWorld Dig, and it feels really good to say this. SteamWorld Dig 2 is a great sequel. I'm glad the game didn't just turn out to be a carbon copy of the original with a different story. It is better in every possible aspect, it's a blast to play, and I recommend it to everyone, especially people who, like me, love the original. SteamWorld Dig 2 is available now on Steam, GOG, PS4, PS Vita, and the Nintendo Switch. See you next time.